I saw you guys in the Discord posting the algorithm. Hi, welcome to DG360. If you're watching here on YouTube, please push the like button and all the buttons that make you happy. I saw you guys were posting in Discord this particular channel, and Christy and I watched this. I'm a big fan of whiskey. Love whiskey, bourbon. Love scotch as well. And, this particular channel I would highly recommend. They're called the Whiskey Tribe. And the video that we're going to watch, I have never seen before, where they're trying to outdrink somebody. Now, this should be interesting. These gentlemen are highly entertaining.
Like Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Don't even talk to me about it.
He put me in a headlock one time. What?
Winston Churchill's alcohol consumption was legendary, yet somehow he managed to guide his country through a world war. But how'd he do that? I called the biggest Winston Churchill fan I know to join me in living like the legend for a day. Drink for drink, puff for puff. These are Winston Churchill's preferred beverages, but quantity matters when it comes to alcohol. So we're gonna separate fact from fiction. To join me in this elaborate excuse to get drunk at work, I called a friend of mine.
I might have to pick up a
comedian,
bottle.
An author, host of The Political Orphanage, Andrew Heaton. In the immortal words of Winston Churchill, whee! Hey, buddy.
Good morning.
You ready to Churchill for a day?
I'm very excited to Churchill for today.
Okay, so Johnny Walker Red was the go-to scotch of choice for good Mr. Winston Churchill. So
Good old
you
Johnny Walker
have already
Red.
started with what Churchill has reportedly been starting with in the morning. What is that?
So there's a little bit of Johnny Walker on the bottom, and then I put soda water on top of it. He's using it to flavor the water and also disinfect from malaria.
Right.
Because he picked it up during the Boer War. It's just a way to make the water okay. So we're not drinking the Johnny Walker Red at this point in our day to get tippled. We're just doing it to flavor the water.
It's always going to be hard on the liver, Hugh. That's the bad part about it.
Throughout most of the day and smoking cigars throughout most of the day to be able to function in the role that he was in. I don't know how that works.
Sheer willpower. Willpower is super genius. I think Churchill was a prodigious drinker, but not the epic superhuman drinker that we've been led on. And I think he did that intentionally. I think he would go, well, yes, I kick off the day with a scotch. Yeah. That way people are like, you do? You must be some kind of super genius to be able to handle your day after that much alcohol. But like, he'd probably have maybe a maximum of 3 ounces. That's maximum of 3 ounces of scotch before lunch that he's watering down. I think probably
that's what I do before every stream.
I'm pretty sure I'm not going to have a problem with the booze throughout the day.
Yes, you will. I feel like he will. Oh, he's going to.
Okay. The cigars, though.
Yeah.
Up to 10 cigars.
Oh my God.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Breakfast in bed.
10 cigars a day, dude? Dude, cigars are so
Breakfast
harsh.
burritos.
Just like Churchill.
Just like the English had.
With some food in the belly. Drink number 1 down. We're crawling out of bed and getting set up for drink number 2.
Drink number 2. I feel as though the last scotch flavored water that I had was not even that flavored.
Jesus, sketch.
It is worn off for me completely. I was feeling just the slightest little bit.
I mean, as an extrovert who enjoys drinking, this has been a great way to kick off my day. If you guys want to do this every day.
And let's water it down.
There we go. That looks like scotch flavored water right there.
Sure. First of all, cheers, my good man.
To Winston.
Yes, still watered down Johnny Walker.
Yeah.
We should figure out the most English things we could possibly think of.
Okay.
To carry us through the rest of the morning.
All right. I'm making tea! What are you doing?
I'm queuing! What are you doing now?
I'm adding unnecessary U's to words in this old book. Color. What are you doing?
This is the last drink of the morning.
Right.
Okay, so how you feeling so far?
I feel great. I don't know whether it's the fine company or the sunlight or the whiskey, but I feel really good. I think I should drink much more on a regular basis in the morning.
I think morning whiskey is becoming a thing.
Morning whiskey might be a thing, yeah.
I still feel the slightest trail of that second one as I'm going into the third.
I'm at that point where I'm like kind of playful and jokey, but not yet violent.
Yeah.
Which you'll see here in a minute. But for right now, though, I feel great.
To Winston.
To Winston.
Salute.
Ooh, I don't care for that
Sláinte.
flat.
No,
sir.
You were having a better
What's
time
up,
with the bubble
Toaster?
water.
How
The
you
bubble
doing,
water
buddy?
made it, just gave it a little bit.
Good to
This
see
is
you
an
in here.
interesting cocktail.
Right.
This is just, my ice melted.
Okay, so I think this is about a reasonable time for us to get into probably the thing that Winston Churchill was even
Tomo!
more well known
How
for.
you doing,
in
Tomo? Good to
alcohol
see you,
consumption.
buddy.
Defeating Hitler. Oh,
We got
cigars.
Toaster
Cigars.
and Tomo.
Yeah, that was
over here.
a footnote. So we got some Romeo and Juliet. He enjoyed those quite often, but he would venture out. So later on, we're going to pull out one of my preferred cigars because, once every couple of weeks I partake. But how often did you cigar? What was your?
I like cigars, so I give myself one cigar per month as a treat.
Okay, so these guys are trying to jam it out like Churchill did back in the day. We've learned that Churchill drank a copious amount of whiskey, smoked a copious amount of Cubans, and they're trying to do the same. Now, my money is on the dude on the left.
I'm going to try and take it just above.
I've
the band.
watched
Is
whiskey
that
try
why the fuck the
before.
bands are there? That would actually make a whole lot of sense if there was some purpose to them besides advertising.
What is the purpose of cigar bands?
I found this on the web for what is the purpose of cigar beans. Check it out.
Fucking AI.
Cigar beans.
So stupid.
Thank you, Siri.
Our morning of 3 scotch and sodas is now complete. Moving into the early afternoon with an ambitious
I still am in
quota
limitless.
of
I'm
champagne.
still built
At
that way.
his
I'm
lunch,
old school.
Winston Churchill would finish an imperial pint-sized bottle of champagne.
Wow.
Not these.
Hold on, let's see where we're at right here. Let me get out of the way so we can see. We are currently on 3. We are on 1 cigar and 3 whiskeys right now. Interesting. Okay.
Churchill would finish an imperial pint-sized bottle
might
of
have a little
champagne.
slur
Not these
going on.
modern 750 milliliter bottles, but we made the necessary.
You can see it in the eyes, and you see how the cheeks start to go down like this, and the words are going to start to slur at 4 to 5. So he'll start to slur definitely after 5.
Adjustments for 2 people at lunch. Okay, lunchtime.
Lunchtime, great.
Doing all right?
Yeah, I'm feeling a little buzzed.
They're
We
at lunch.
have to kill this bottle by the end of lunch.
Well, that's tough, but this is the life we've chosen, Rex.
How else do you save the free world?
Yeah.
We tried to come up with the most English lunch we could think of,
Fish and chips.
and then we looked around, and in Central Texas, we're gonna have to drive
Backspace.
about half an hour to
I
get
try
to
to
the
keep it light,
closest
funny, Backspace.
fish and chips, and it's probably not actually, by UK standards, a good fish and chips.
We love you,
Did the
Backspace.
next
Have a
best
good day,
thing.
bro.
Gas station fish sticks. That's what we're
He's
gonna
almost
do.
at 1,000. We gotta
Technically,
get
if
him
we're
over
on
1,000
pace,
subscribers.
Both of us complete a full bottle. We finish a full bottle.
Okay.
Plus a bit more. You know how to do these? You want to look fancy?
You know more people die from errant champagne corks every year than from sharks?
That's bullshit.
Yeah. You know what, like, if we could go back in time and talk to high school Andrew Heaton and be like, what do you think you're gonna be doing at 38? And then find out I'll be drinking champagne, smoking cigars, and eating fish sticks, I would be very pleased with how my life turned out.
We're barely into the day.
Right.
And we can feel it in the gleamings of what is in store
gleamings.
for us. This much alcohol.
Yeah.
And that much cigar. Do you think that helped or hindered, or was it just, it doesn't matter?
No. That helped. That definitely helped Churchill kick some serious ass. I literally think that helped the day. That was like adding gasoline. Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire. Ugh.
Going to be who it was.
I'm going to take an unpopular opinion.
Yeah.
And say I think that if Winston Churchill had been dead clean sober, he would not have suddenly been a limp-wristed fascist sympathizer.
The nature of the effects of alcohol. Like, you do get to this point where you're uninhibited, you got that liquid courage, you're a bit more brave,
Right.
don't really give a shit what other people think.
Right.
A lot of times people will drink something to feel that, that sense of bravado. In the case of Winston Churchill, his relationship with quite a bit of the booze, I don't think that diminished him. I think that was probably a nice accent to his character.
I like that. Has anybody heard of a guy named Lord Green? Lord Green was my favorite British aristocrat till he died. He died like maybe 10
never
years
heard
ago.
of
But
him.
Lord Green, he was on the House of Lords Alcoholism Prevention Committee until it came out that he drank 2 bottles of wine a day. And he's like, well, I'm fine.
Right.
But the reason that they figured this out was he parked his car
on the steps of Parliament, like parked it, like on the steps.
That's the kind of leader we need here in America. Those are the type of leaders that we need here in America.
It also threatened to kill Tony Blair. One of the things that I'm jealous of him is that he's got this intense self-assuredness.
Yeah.
I think part of it is that he was an aristocrat, and so he was just like, I am, by definition, better than everybody.
Right.
And I think that in his mind, he was far more concerned about what his kick-ass ducal ancestors would think of him than what you or me would think of him.
Yeah.
Right? Like, for me, like, if I go on Twitter and Raptor Asslord 432 says he doesn't like me, it bothers me. Right? But, like, Winston Churchill would not give a flying about that. Winston Churchill, I don't know who you are, but, like, the Duke of Marlborough would care that I stuck it to the commies. Is there any more of that bottle left?
Yes.
Okay.
Look at this guy. We're on the Churchillian pace to complete the day.
Uh-huh.
How are you feeling so far?
Where's the counter
I
at?
feel
I need the
fantastic.
counter.
Me too.
And the fact that I feel this fantastic
Right.
before 1:30 in the
I
afternoon.
totally want to fight
is
Germans.
a great
Where's the counter
time.
at?
The rest of the day is going to be awesome.
Did Churchill really drink this much every day?
Christ. Come find me. I'll fight all of you. Every one of you. Because I'm very fancy. They're kind
If you have to tell people that you're very fancy.
Yeah.
That's true. That's
So-
Nice.
You're getting a good one.
Thank you.
I'll take the shitty one.
Oh, no.
You do look like a very aged 12-year-old boy wearing his dad's hat.
No, that's great. Because I usually get the most handsome character in the Wallace and Gromit claymation film. So I'll take 12-year-old boy. I look like I'm in Five Goes West. But anyway.
Look, it's the look of judgment.
They're getting
I am
lit.
immediately feeling inclined to retract my
They're getting lit right now. Like right now, it's starting to kick. Right now, it's starting to kick in.
statement from this morning when we were hanging
just
out in
giving
bed.
you the
when I
phases.
was like,
I'm letting
I
you guys
think
know.
this whole Churchill thing's overblown.
Right.
Like, you could work your way through this over a course of days. Like,
It's
yeah,
about
if
to
you're
get
in a
silly.
frat, but like,
Yeah.
if you're gonna have to go kill the Nazis and figure out where you're invading, this is actually pretty intense.
Yeah, good luck. So to keep us on pace, technically we need about 6 more ounces. Am I saying words?
Yeah, you're good.
This is the moment where like, okay, if I keep drinking, I will feel it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the
Oh, I'm
feeling.
definitely the future heat.
I mean, remember the good old days when our leaders were alcoholics?
that guy? That guy, he doesn't even exist yet.
After lunch, he would have a cognac as a digestif. And they're just rocking the 2
Right,
fork
Tomo.
method.
This isn't me drunk. I was only given 2 forks. I was not given a knife. It's not my fault. I know how knives work.
I don't have a knife.
You use them to cut shit.
Churchill would have made it work without a knife.
He would
Amateurs.
stared
They're
at it in
amateurs.
force
If they're
of
already
will.
feeling
Give it a
they're
rousing
It's
speech,
steak,
and
yeah.
then that is a generous chunk of
That's
meat,
a
my man.
big,
You
big
should use a
piece of
knife.
steak. Look at this dude.
Why did you cut it with a knife?
What? Oh boy.
What's wrong with you?
I would love to have a knife, Rex.
I told you.
I
it was
would
getting
love to have
silly.
a knife.
I
If
told
you
you
were to give
it
me
was
a knife,
getting
that'd be great. The space thing. Like, if you meet like Neil deGrasse Tyson,
Don't
you
even
just
talk to me about it.
he put me in a headlock one time.
What? Neil deGrasse Tyson put you in a headlock.
Yeah, no, I was doing a show with him, and I found out that he did wrestling, and I basically just baited him. Was like, "You couldn't put me in a headlock."
That is bullshit.
Like, and then he did.
No
and then he
way.
showed me some
Oh,
wrestling moves.
okay, never
And I
mind.
feel like we bonded.
Did he whisper about nebulas whenever you're just...
Yeah. You're just
Really?
like, I can't breathe, Neil deGrasse Tyson. And he's like, shh, nebulas are gas. We're all made of stardust. And I just kind of fell asleep, and I woke up later. It was fine.
All right, let's close this out.
Bye. So at this point in the schedule, he took a nice nap. Are you an inner spoon or outer spoon kind of guy?
We'll fight them in the trenches. Fight them on the beaches. Fight them in fields,
This guy's always getting put in wrestling moves, man.
some other places. I forgot.
I will admit, seeing a
Oh,
nap
here's the
after
counter.
lunch.
Here's the counter. And what does the counter say? Hold on a moment. Let me get out of the way here. Let's see where we are at on the counter. We're 3 bottles of champagne, 3 looks like doubles of whiskey, 2 cigars, and what is that on the in a glass of wine? Wow, they are really mixing it up. They are really mixing it up, man. They're mixing it
Lunch on
up.
the schedule looked very silly at first. After that lunch, it seems absolutely mandatory. So you have had your post-lunch nap. How'd that go?
It was. I'm very glad that I had it.
Yes?
I'm feeling much better. I did about the time you came in. I did have this weird dream where somebody kept kind of like stabbing me in the back with a pick.
Well, pick is an aggressive term.
It was, but other than that, it was great.
Wait, hold on. I mean, it's aggressive.
It was like a velvet pick.
Are you familiar with this Scottish claymore?
Yeah, I mean, like.
So I think that's probably more in line with what you were.
What would be like a miniature claymore? Like
No,
not
a
a dirk, but like a
miniature
Durkina.
claymore.
If somebody were putting a Durkina in my back, like a tiny Belgian version of a
I'll meet you in the middle.
Yeah, okay.
Full katana.
Sure, yes. I had this dream that somebody was stabbing me back with a full katana. Either way, I'm glad I had the dream. I needed to have a break. And I don't nap. I nap like twice a year, truly.
That
And
champagne
They're still fun.
was
nap,
for
yeah.
real, man.
Yeah.
We are so far behind.
Wow.
You've had two. What do you want?
I'm going to go with I'm going to go with a more rec-sized light.
Dude, Churchill was a boss. Are you kidding me? like Churchill could not have done this every single
Colored
day.
one.
There's no possible way.
Full katana.
I'm going to go with a full katana and smoke that, yeah. All right, this is my third cigar for the day.
Damn it, Churchill was a boss, dude.
Things
If
have
he did
settled
this
down a
every
little.
day-
You're still feeling the effects of it, I'm
Yes.
sure.
Oh,
How
yes.
old did he live till?
I'm
Churchill
now at the
got
point where I
old,
could bluff
too.
my way through a meeting. I was not at the point where I could bluff my way through a meeting right after lunch.
Yeah.
Like people would have known I was drunk, right? Now I could kind of go in there and play. I don't know, I'm a bit tired, but I could do
Tomo
it.
says,
What do you
"Oh
think of
yes,
that
you
cigar?
could." I could just hear Tomo saying that right now.
Yeah.
I tend to like lighter cigars.
This is the nicest one that I've had today. It's that perfect amount of. You can take a moment, you can set it
Truth
down,
irritated
you
truth,
can have
buddy.
some conversation, you can come back. It's still
I can nap on command.
very
like, just
well lit,
whoop,
perfect
and I'm
draw.
out.
And I don't like the heavy, aggressive,
Yeah.
bitey cigar.
I agree with him.
experience.
I like
this
the
is the
smooth.
Diamond Crown from J.C. Newman.
Nice.
This
Okay.
episode is sponsored by J.C. Newman. J.C. Newman is actually America's oldest family-owned premium cigar maker.
I used
kind.
to, let me
available.
skip
This
past
is
the
what you
show.
should care about. This is the Diamond Crown whiskey. Yeah, and we're going to favorites. And I was having the nicest cigar of nipple tip that you look for. In a cigar.
Their
This is
commercials
very
are
nice.
actually
It's
kind of
very
funny
soft.
too.
Yeah, note ring. I'm very picky. The Scotch
All right.
and water. Let's get this thing.
The only times I ever really smoked cigars was when I was playing poker, like poker night back in the day, in my 20s. That's when I used to smoke. Like every once in a while, I'd smoke some cigars playing poker. I feel like it's mandatory to smoke cigars during poker. That's the way I feel about it.
Poured. We have a nice little threshold of we can still function, but we're feeling good.
Okay, yeah, because like sticking up for old Churchill, who again was apparently a more prodigious drinker than I thought, this is keeping us from being pissy.
Oh, that is nice with the bubbly water, though.
Right?
Isn't it better?
Yeah, it's nice.
It is better.
This was the point of the day where he would do his office work.
Literally, I think before we were filming, you all were like, "How are you doing?" And I was like, "Well, I literally had to send out emails to a bunch of authors." And I woke up and I was like, "Don't send him an email right now because you're drunk." And this is exactly
Yes.
when Winston Churchill would
Yeah.
send emails
Yeah.
to authors.
What's the stuff you have going on in your world? We're doing business now, Andrew.
Great.
We're doing business. What's happening?
I'm very clever. And I host a program called The Political Orphanage, which is a podcast for people that do not feel they're catered to by either
getting
red team or
chilly
blue
right
team
now.
dynamics. Delightful, big thing.
Be sure to check out Andrew's stuff. You're in general feeling good, but I feel like I could, at this point, take an audience with the Queen, try and save.
Yes, England.
Quiet.
Oh
They
shit!
bow.
I forgot to.
You bow, please. Thank you.
Very dominant.
Enough.
Oh.
Ugh.
How's the war going, Queen?
She said,
Oh, magnificent.
Is it though?
Lots of bloodshed.
The Prime Minister's job is to ask the Queen how the war's going. Hello, ceremonial monarch. How's the war going?
So what is your Queen name?
Queen Laquifa III.
we
Laquifa.
go.
Queen
Yeah.
Laquifa.
Has a very regal ring to it.
Yeah.
I think I can handle the scotch. It's the champagne I don't think I can handle.
This champagne will
I think
wreck-
if I were just smoking cigars and drinking watered down scotch all day, I think I could handle that.
And you know what's next? Bunch of champagne.
Oh,
At this
going
point,
back to the
we
champagne.
are cruising into dinner.
That's the bubbles,
and any
man.
hope that we had of effortlessly
Oh
keeping
Jesus! Oh my Jesus! Let's look at the counter now. Let's look at the let's look at the counter. Wow! They got a lot of cigar smoking to do. This can't be the amount. This is copious amounts of sin here. This is copious amounts of crazy good sin. I can't believe that he did this every single day. This is ridiculous, man. Oh, ridiculous. What's up, noob? How you doing, buddy?
Keeping up with Winston Churchill is long gone, and we still have a very, very large amount of
You
alcohol. ahead
DM
of
me
us.
a tat.
Okay,
and
Andrew,
if I agree
dinner
to get in with
time.
you,
Good.
you'll pay
Once
for it. I'll
more
have to
into
look.
the
I'll have to look what it is after this.
champagne,
Remind
my
me.
friend.
Good, man, because that's what did me in last time.
Yes, it is. After lunch, with that full-on half
gonna get
bottle and
twinsy
then
tats?
some of the champagne. And then we went back to the scotch and water, cigars, and it's just a slow kind of.
We're
almost
seeing if these
not quite a
guys can keep
plateau,
up with
but it's
Churchill
drifting
right
down a
now,
little bit.
dude.
And now once more we're getting into the champagne with dinner. But you already are feeling a little bit of a hangover.
I'm feeling a little bit of a hangover.
Okay, you feel like you could get a-
Mine was this is easy, this is easy, this is easy. Then lunch,
Yeah.
and the champagne went up to here.
Yeah.
Then we had the nap, and it went down a little bit. And then the scotch, and I'm still operating at a 7 out of 10. Cheers.
Cheers to you.
Well,
And
that's
by the way,
respectable if he's
we
at
do
a
need to
7.
get through a full-on bottle of this, by the way.
Oh Christ.
They're feeling it now. They're feeling it. They're getting towards dinner here.
Okay.
I mean, Jesus, they're getting hammered right now.
So ideally,
The food's good. The
this
food will
should
soak
be
it
the
up.
apex of our wit. This should be when we are the most glib and we're just cranking out
I'm
like.
so hungry
"Here's
right
Lady
now.
Astor,
Same
you're
here,
a
Mad Style. I
whore,"
was
or
thinking the
whatever
same thing.
Whatever he said.
Mad Style, dude. You read my brain. You get out my brain waves, Mad Style. Mad Style, dude. I just thought the same thing. I was like, dude, I gotta hook myself up with like some crazy Jersey Mike sub right now.
At this
like,
point, I'm pretty sure.
so
at
hungry.
this,
I am so
I'm half a
hungry right
Churchill.
now.
Yeah. We'll fight
And
some
thirsty.
Germans.
Always.
But tomorrow, though.
Yes. I could punch a couple of Belgians right now, you know, it's like, come on, Belgium. But like a real country? No, I don't think I can pick a fight with them right now. Come find me. I'll fight all of you, every one of you.
Oh yeah, he's going down
Did you
first.
oh, man. Why would you?
I
why
told
would
you this dude was gonna outlast him. This dude's gonna outlast the other dude. Oof. Oh, that's rough.
So,
That's
how
rough.
many
The bubbles.
cigars did you have?
It's the bubbles in the champagne. Like the bubbles in the champagne are causing like an internal combustion of sorts. It's really gonna end badly for one of these two.
Which one is this for you?
Yes.
This is, okay, I think this
Yes!
is his number 6, is that right?
Yeah, it's number 6, yeah.
I've had 5. I'm gonna have another in a moment, but I never combine cigars with
They
Mike
need to
Jersey
chain smoke
subs.
the cigars to
that would
keep
be
up.
an insult to the good people of New Jersey.
God, how?
They
What are
probably
you
felt
telling
like
me?
shit the next day.
Probably.
Like-
I don't even know anymore.
Thank you.
This is painful now. This is painful.
All right.
Tell me the best Churchill story that you know that is relevant to you and how you connect to him.
My first paid government gig was
I'm
for the
thinking
British
like
Parliament.
how I
worked
would
for
be the
them
next
for-
day.
Wow! My first paid government gig was for the British Parliament. I briefly worked for John Bercow, who went on to become the Speaker of the House of Commons, probably because of me, I think. I got to go on a tour of Parliament, and I had a personalized tour, it was just me.
Yeah.
They took me to this big-ass oak table, and they showed me these grooves in it. And they're like, what do you think that is? And I was like, I don't know, like shoddy workmanship from your people? Like, no, that's not it. Apparently, Churchill would just bang his fist into the table when he was making a point. His ring would make grooves in the table eventually.
Really?
Like, can I run my finger through that?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah. So I went, I got to like run my finger through this Churchill groove. I was like, I've touched greatness.
Dude, he's like totally fanboying Churchill right now. He's feeling Churchill's grooves, man. He's feeling Churchill's grooves. Man, that's a little
I don't
disturbing.
know. I'm expecting more of like a head back, eye twitch.
It's called edging.
Disturbing.
You want to try it? Is this the cognac?
Yeah.
This is.
I gotta say, okay, this jacket's buying me so much cover. Is it not? Like if I wear this exact same amount in a t-shirt, you'd be like, that guy's really drunk. But in a smoky jacket, you're like, oh, he's pretty on top of shit, I think. Maybe that's why, like, when
I will
Churchill
have
wore
you know
more
this
hat.
is my formal T-shirt.
Yep, agreed.
It's cognac. Okay.
of the many people that went to Pookkaville High School or wherever you're from. Yeah.
I mean, this is a
Mainly get out of the park, yes.
So, final thoughts in living like Winston Churchill for a day, drink for drink, puff for puff.
Wow. They couldn't keep up with the cigars. Let's go to the counter right now. Pepe, to the counters, please. Wow. So it looks like the cigars they just could not keep. I mean, like I couldn't imagine smoking that many cigars. For God's sake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They've smoked 6. They got 4 more to go. 10 cigars. I mean, Churchill, he had a job keeping up with the sin. Churchill had a job keeping up with all that magical sin, for God's sake.
Both Keaton and I went into this thinking, you know what? Spread throughout an entire day, I think this is manageable. No, it's not. Especially combined with the cigars. We did not even get, well, he got, I think, to 5 cigars. I got to 6 cigars. Nowhere
that's crazy,
near
man, Sal.
the purported 10 cigars that he would occasionally smoke up to in a day.
I could do this, Noob, but I would feel horrible the next day, and it would last one full entire day after this. Like, I've conditioned my liver in such a manner to be able to handle the alcohol. I don't think I could do that many cigars. I have a problem with. I could smoke 1 cigar when I played poker back in the day in my 20s. I could like take a stogie and just let it go for the entirety but like maybe 2, but I usually just have 1 cigar, but I can't imagine going through that many cigars in a day. That's ridiculous.
And even though I'm in the industry and I effectively drink for a living, I had a horrible night's sleep, and then the first thing I did after waking up the next morning was puke my brains out.
Oh,
you hear that? What is that?
This is about 14 feet. This is actually, I could have done it from the balcony.
Is he pissing off the side of the whiskey farts?
Claymore. Thanks for watching the episode. Throw a like and comment.
Yeah, I dig Whiskey Tribe. It's a fun channel to watch. They're very, very knowledgeable about how to make whiskeys, mostly bourbons. And they have a really good palate. They talk about the whiskey, the flavor of the whiskey. I myself love bourbon. I love Scotch. I'm a whiskey dude as well. So I found this channel about a year or 2 ago, and Christy and I like to watch it from time to time. We'll buy some whiskey. My standards are I believe Woodford, Four Roses, Elijah Craig. I like those are kind of my standard go-tos. But I like that they're very professional on this channel. The content's this guy's very entertaining. The other dude who they only showed in a commercial is this bald guy with a goatee. He's very knowledgeable as well, and they have their own whiskey joint, and they make their own whiskey as well. So like I kind of like if you're down with that, I would highly recommend this channel. I'll put the link there. It is a fun watch. It's a nice weekend kind of watch with your partner, and yeah, Whiskey Tribe. Well, 500,000 subscribers. They don't need my help. But I thought it was interesting to see in Discord that you guys were posting that, because I saw Whiskey Tribe in there. I was like, oh, I know those guys. So very, very cool. Very cool.